Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So following my last video where I talked about 3 brands that I wanted to try, I did actually make a purchase from the French Sephora and I did order some things from Fenty Beauty. So now I have finally tried Fenty Beauty and spoiler alert, the products that I tried are so good that I actually feel like now I have a bit of a crush on Fenty Beauty and I want to try more products. That's not to say I'm going to start buying things just for the sake of collecting Fenty Beauty, but I am more excited about their releases now and I am really excited to see whether she comes out with an eyeshadow palette that really speaks to me, because I would really like to try that. So the 2 products that I picked up are basically the products that I mentioned I was the most interested in my video, and those are the new highlighter and the universal lip gloss. So not the new lip gloss that comes with her new collection, but the old universal gloss, that one color that everyone was raving about. So the thing is, I tried to take pictures of my makeup yesterday with like this highlighter on, and I tried making a little video for Instagram, but stupid Instagram messes with the quality of my photos and I'm not the best at taking like pictures of my highlighter. So I figured maybe the best way to show you and to review this product is to just make a short video about it. So you are going to see a demo of me applying the highlighter, but I also wanted to just talk a little bit about the highlighter before we apply it and just give you my 2 cents on how I feel about it. So let's start with some basics. I ordered mine from the French Sephora. The price was around 36 euros, so this is not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. It arrived really quickly, I was really happy. The only thing I'm really not so pleased about is that French Sephora obviously only works in French and I don't speak a word of French, so it took me like half an hour to figure out how to ship the product to the Netherlands. It was fine in the end, I figured it out. It was also not too expensive, it was only 10 euros, so yes. That's how I order Fenty products. If you're based somewhere where you don't have a Sephora and you're in Europe and the French Sephora ships to you, there is a way to get Fenty products. So the first thing I wanted to show you is the absolutely gorgeous box that the highlighter comes in. This is how the outside packaging looks like. This is one of the most beautiful boxes. It has like this glitter spray over top of the box, and it actually doesn't really fall off so easily. So this is definitely one of those packages that I am going to save. The highlighter is called How Many Carats, and it is their Diamond Bomb All Over Diamond Veil. The reason I was so fascinated, especially to pick up this highlighter, is because people claimed that, well, not only people, but Fenty Beauty themselves claimed that this is a product that is very unique in terms of formula and how it looks on the skin and the effect it gives. And, you know, I have a gazillion and one highlighters. I really don't need highlighters. So for me personally, it really needed to be something special for me to have the urge to pay so much money and try it. And of course I didn't really know before I got the highlighter which way it's going to go. I might have been thoroughly disappointed or not. And I'm happy to say that I'm not disappointed. I think this highlighter really is quite unique in terms of its formulation, or at least I haven't had anything that is quite like it. So this is the packaging. It looks a little bit like it's metallic, but it's not. It has like a plastic cover over top of it. It is, it has these like tiny shimmery sparkly things on it. It says Fenty Beauty on this side. It's kind of like a, what color is that? Yeah, it leans a little bit pinkish. I don't know whether it comes off well on camera. It's basically blinding my camera, but it is a little bit pinkish. And then it has, you know, the beautiful hexagonal structure, which I think is really cool and very unique. And then when you open it, there's a mirror, and this is how the product looks like. And I am going to try my best to show you how the product itself looks in the pan. Basically, it's like a translucent base packed with shimmer. I'm going to try to turn this into the light a little bit just so you can see how it sparkles. Hopefully you were able to catch a little bit of that. As far as the formula of this goes, this has a very strange formula. First of all, I think you can already see that there is a dip in it. So this does feel very like jelly and spongy. And the best way I would describe it is it has like this balmy, spongy, jelly-like texture, like transparent, and then it's packed with glitters, well, glitters, some sort of very shimmery particles that shift blue or pink, especially if you stand in the sunlight. And then let me just show you, if I put it like this on my finger, it feels very smooth and very velvety. And I don't know whether you can see how it almost makes my finger look wet. Do you see this? So let's do a little swatch here, just straight up from applying it on my skin with my fingers, because this is actually my preferred way of applying this highlighter. So I'm going to try to turn my hand into the light so that you can see a little bit the effect. But basically it makes you look a little bit like you are a mermaid that just came out of the sea and was, you know, bathing and is bathing in sunlight, and all of a sudden you're covered in these like magical, sparkly, shimmery things. I think it really makes a difference how you apply this highlighter, and the reason I'm saying that is because if I get any of my highlighter brushes, let's say I get this highlighter brush and I dip into the highlighter, well, first of all, the intensity is not as nice, and second of all, it's much more subtle and it's much more like you pick up mostly the shimmer particles. So my favorite way of using this highlighter is basically using my fingers to apply it, because I feel like with my fingers I also pick up that balmy texture, and then that's what really gives you that kind of wet look. I do think that you get a little bit of that wetness also when you apply it with a brush, but with a brush it looks much more like straight up glitter particles. I feel like if you want to achieve the full intensity and the full potential of this highlighter, you are going to have to apply it with your fingers. In terms of texture, the closest thing I can think of is the highlighters of Colourpop, but then again, when you apply a Colourpop highlighter, you basically get a highlighter effect, you know. It still looks like any other highlighter, it's just that it feels more spongy when you dip your finger into it. This one, on the other hand, I really feel like it looks also very, very unique. I have nothing quite like it. One thing I want to say is that I wouldn't call the shimmer particles in here necessarily glitter. Like, I've seen glitter highlighters and that's not how they look like. This is more like a very subtle, I don't know, it's like little diamond particles sprinkled all over your face. I absolutely don't think that this is straight up glitter. If you're someone who enjoys their highlighter to just be a subtle sheen, I don't think this highlighter is going to be for you. I feel like this is a highlighter for people who do enjoy their highlighter to be more intense and a little bit more out there. And if you want to try something truly unique and something that you haven't really experienced before, I would highly recommend picking up the highlighter. Of course, consider what your personal preferences are. I was not disappointed. I'm really happy with my purchase and with my first experience with Fenty Beauty. The other thing I picked up, by the way, is the Universal Lip Gloss. So this is the original Fenty Glow lip gloss. It's also what I have on my lips today. This gloss, it lives up to all the hype as well. It has this huge applicator, which initially I was a little concerned about. There is a scent to it, but I don't feel the scent. It doesn't bother me in any way. I wouldn't say this has much of a color to it. I don't think there's much of a base color. For me personally, it feels like my lips color is poking through most of the time, and what I get is this beautiful plump feeling with a little bit of shimmer through it. I absolutely love this lip gloss. I totally understand the hype around it, and I mildly regret that I didn't also pick up the lip gloss that comes with this collection, because I feel like if the formula is anything like it, I will probably really enjoy it. So probably next time I'm ordering from Sephora, and especially Fenty Beauty, I'm going to pick up the other lip gloss if it's still available. This is probably one of the most comfortable lip glosses I've ever tried in my whole life. It's just very moisturizing, very comfortable. It never dries your lips out. It doesn't form any sort of like weird lip lines anywhere. It doesn't bleed out. I just think it looks absolutely beautiful, and I can see why it's kind of a universal thing because it doesn't really have a lot of base color to it, so you're not going to see much more than your own lip color with some shimmer through it. So guys, I'm going to wrap this up now. I'm going to leave you with the demo for the highlighter where you're going to see me applying it on various parts of my face. I hope you enjoyed this review of the Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb highlighter and the universal lip gloss. I really enjoy both products and I have nothing but good things to say about them. Let me know if you picked up this highlighter and how you like it and how you feel about it, and do you feel similarly or are you super disappointed? I feel like this is a highlighter that will probably divide people into either I love it or I hate it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. So guys, like I said, I do prefer applying this highlighter with my fingers just because I feel like if you're going to pick up the transparent base and the shimmery sparkly particles, that's the way that it works best. All you'll need something like a very dense synthetic brush. But like I said, I just like to use my fingers, so I dip my fingers into it and you can see that it leaves a little bit of a dent. And then I just I'm going to use the mirror. And then I just kind of apply it like this on my cheekbones. And obviously you can apply as much as you want. You can make it really intense or you can make it more subtle. I feel like making it more subtle is definitely an option. You know I'm not about the subtle, so I definitely add more than someone with more subtle taste would prefer. So just like that, tapping it with my finger and slightly blending it into my blush. And I think you can already see how I get that kind of like wet look effect, which I think is absolutely beautiful. What I did also yesterday, by the way, is I did apply a little bit of this on the center of my lids just using my finger, so I'm going to do that as well, just so I can show you. Just here in the center of my lids, very subtle. And I'm also going to grab this like super dense kind of synthetic kind of brush, and I am going to dip into this and try to apply a little bit also on my brow bone. I told you what Rihanna's makeup artist did when she was doing Nicki's makeup, and she kind of did this thing, and it looked really magical, so I want to do it as well, just to show you guys. If I were to go the extra mile, I could even pop a little bit of this on my inner corners, over top of the inner corner highlight. So, you know, let's just do that, why not? Since we're trying anyway. So now I'm fully diamond bombed. So this is pretty much how the highlighter looks like when I apply it on my face. And let me switch off the light a little bit just so you see the effect. I don't know whether you can see, it just gives you this kind of like wet effect. Let me get a bit closer to the camera. I'm going to try later, by the way, to go out, but it's a little bit cloudy right now, so I'm not sure I will succeed. So let's try this outside, you guys. It's not sunny, so unfortunately you won't be able to see this in like straight up sunlight, but this is a little bit how the highlight looks like in like broad daylight, not in my ring light in the room. Okay guys, so the sun is back, so let's try this again. So let's see whether I can show you how the highlighter looks like in sunlight. So there you go, Fenty Diamond Bomb highlighter in sunlight. Let's move in a little bit into the sun and see whether you can pick up anything at all.